Okay, I got my life together. I figured out why we couldn't do comments. I got it together. We're good. We're good, guys. We are freaking good. We're good. We're good. It's cool. I'm back. I'm still watching the video for Batman. The trailer breakdown. I've watched this trailer 50 times. I'm so excited. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like sketched out when they said that Robert Pattinson was gonna play Batman because, like, come on, you those people who are like into Twilight, those people of like Twilight obsession, which I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people. Now that I'm older, not so much because what the hell were we thinking? It's not popping. Like, it's hella weird. But like, I didn't have much faith in him that he was gonna like do the damn thing as Batman. Cause like, you was not. Edward was freaking weird. Okay, Edward was weird. But I'm like, I'm kind of into it. I can't even open this. My hands are like hella slippery. Hella slippery. Literally, this is not a tutorial. I just wanted to come on here and do my makeup.
From your secret friend. Haven't a clue? Let's play a game. Just me and you. So, what kind of card is this? Who gives Halloween cards? Why is a skeleton friends with an owl? Yeah, you wouldn't buy this off the stand. This must have been custom printed by the killer. And probably something much more than just a vague reference to the long Halloween comic issue that everyone says is loosely based. The owl, I believe, is a clue pointing to the Court of Owls, a shadowy cult that runs Gotham City, recently revealed as the villains of the Gotham Knights game, who, I believe, could be behind this conspiracy that Riddler is trying to
What is
expose.
this? Okay, I'm gonna put on my highlight and my contour. So cinnamon and espresso.
The handwritten message reads, "What does a liar do when he's dead?" And then on the other side, a zodiac-style string of glyphs that I have decoded, so let's go through this. Okay, the first thing you always look for is repeating symbols. So the third symbol shows up twice at the end. So it's the same letter, right? Also, the second and fifth are the same letter, the fourth and the ninth are the same letter, and the sixth and the seventh are the same letter. So the double letter at the end makes it a bit easy, because that means it's probably a consonant, S, maybe L. And that would mean the letter before it is a vowel. So you can apply this Wheel of Fortune, Scrabble type thinking, working backwards that way, while
Is this good light?
context. The cover of the card is a pun. The owl says,
Okay, my brightness wasn't all the way up. I feel like it looks better now.
Would also be a joke. So what does the liar do when he's dead? He lies still. Yep, pretty brilliant wordplay. That tells us something about Riddler. He sees a liar like the mayor as still capable of embodying a lie in his death. And as we go through, we'll talk about how this riddle answer will affect the rest of the story. On to the next part.
Any of this mean anything to you?
Okay, framed on the mayor's wall is the headline, "Maroni Drunk Bust, Mayor's Sting Operation Historic." So, in the DC Comics, the Maronis are one of Gotham's crime families.
How long is this
Sound
video?
Maroni
20
died
minutes?
for
And I'm only
fake
7 minutes in? What a treat! What a treat! What a treat!
Now, I'll say this, it's a bit odd for
Oh, I can share? I can share.
Normally that's a DA in which the mayor...
I didn't know I could share in the middle of a live. Wow, the more you know. The more you freaking know.
Look like they could be the split shaft of a handgun handle. One theory being that this could be the gun that Joe Chill used to kill his parents. Now he uses it as a reminder never to kill. Just slice through people's necks and cave their skulls in.
Vengeance.
And I love how he's introduced with the photographer's camera recharge sound.
I'm not gonna lie. Oh boy, look tight.
Expressing Batman's disgust that a killer trying to get his attention is what caused all this. It's my fault. It's why those cops gave me the side eye. Vengeance! The truth is, the bit tough knowing what the right answer is. Just like when you're shopping online and there's that blinking cursor on the promo code field, and you just don't know if there's an answer out there that you should plug something in. You feel like you're missing out on great deals. Well, thanks to Honey, promo code FOMO code is a thing of the past. Honey is the free browser extension that automatically finds promo codes in a
We gonna be snatched. Y'all, I got
Target
Look
or
at my
GameStop,
belly.
Domino's, wherever.
This
Check out the
belly
little
had
box
2
drop
babies
down
in
on
it.
your
Not at one time,
Apply coupons.
but they were in
Second time
there.
to scan promo codes from across the
Like,
internet
how
and you watch the
often?
prices
Never. I'm not even gonna
drop.
finish.
Not
Well,
long ago, I
I'll
was
finish the
shopping for an
question.
exterior
How
garden
often do y'all
planner for my
freaking
little
see me
patio
come on
space.
here and
Found
actually do my
one
whole
on
face?
Target.com. Money saved
Never.
4
Okay,
bucks.
never.
I'm gonna buy that planner anyway.
That's the
Now I
answer.
spend like 5 minutes to grow civilizations on while I watch my plants die. And an extra $10. New Rockstars fans that have already downloaded Honey in the past using our promo code have already saved themselves almost $300,000. Can I get any of that? No, I can't because it's in your wallets. And don't you want to be one of those?
Who am I?
Honey supports over 30
I am
stores online.
very.
Walmart, J. Crew,
Let me
eBay.
pull this up
If you already have
because
Honey, you could be
I'm
straight up missing out on
trying it. Oh, my
free
belly
money.
just being out.
Free. It installs in just a few
Disregard the
seconds.
bottom half of
You'll be
my
doing yourself a
like
solid in supporting New Rockstars.
situation. Y'all never see that much of my clothes. Y'all only ever see my top. So, ow, I just poked myself in the eye. This Batman, I'm not gonna front. This is gonna be so good. Like, I am not going to front. Robert Pattinson might kill it as Batman. Like, I really was doubting him, and I'm still kind of doubting him. But like, looking at this trailer, oh boy might kill it. Cause he didn't kill it for me in Twilight. He was just weird and shiny. Like, to me, Jasper killed it in Twilight. And Jasper wasn't even the main character. Jasper was like a supporting person. Like, Jasper was just Jasper. Like, Jasper was like just there. And he still was better to me than Robert Pattinson. Like, I know Robert Pattinson played in other stuff, but like, what other stuff? I don't even know. Like, I feel like it's a movie on Netflix that he played in, but like, I can't think of it right now. So, which makes it irrelevant. I don't know what it was, but I was thinking that Robert Pattinson was really about to play me and just really ruin Batman for me. And Batman is literally one of my favorite superheroes. Like, as far as superheroes go, I want to say, like, and like going down the line, I want to say it's like Iron Man is like up there, and then I think maybe I would say, does Spider-Man come before Batman for me? Should I separate DC and Marvel, or like, does it matter? Does it matter to everybody? Does anybody care? Like, people definitely care. Like, I'm saying, does anybody care? People definitely care because it's like, it's even definitely a thing to me. Like, I'm Team Marvel all day. Like, but right now, as far as I'm concerned, DC is they're kind of doing it for me with the Snyder Cut of Justice League coming out, and Wonder Woman 1984 coming out, and the Suicide Squad coming out. The Suicide Squad is probably gonna be a hit because James Gunn is doing the Suicide Squad, and he killed Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite Marvel movies. Not my favorite, but one of my favorite Marvel movies. It was so good. Like, I can rewatch that movie so many times.
Duct tape section it off in the letterboxes. I'm thinking the next clue in this mystery could be the car itself. But the driver of this car is also a victim. He is taped up and he has a neck bomb, a yellow clue with a phone taped to his hand. And I'm thinking the voice of the Riddler that we hear later in this trailer is coming through this phone.
If you are justice, please do not lie.
Actually, kind of similar to the way the Dark Knight Joker rigged people with explosives. Also, the way he
Oh my God, what is
make his next move. HBO's Watchmen also kind of did this. But all of this could be foretold by that "he lies still" clue, because it tells us that the Riddler does not plan to let the mayor get buried peacefully if his eulogies are still just going to be lies about his legacy. Moving on.
If you are justice, please do not lie.
Okay, here we meet our Selena Kyle, Zoe Kravitz, not yet formally Catwoman, according to Matt Reeves, but a cat burglar sneaking into the crime scene and breaking into the mayor's safe. Batman later confronts her, so I'm thinking she must be connected to the skeletons in the mayor's closet and either plans to expose them or maybe make sure no one finds them. And then some deal is going down outside the City of Gotham sanitation, East Side Depot. We know from TV that all characters who work in sanitation aren't really sanitizing and moving bodies. And indeed, later this deal appears to end in a shootout. And then in the rain there is who we are being told is this movie's Oswald Cobblepot, Penguin. Well, I gotta say, this doesn't look anything like Colin Farrell. No, the actor gained some weight, but he is unrecognizable. They must have put on a ton of prosthetics. They definitely hooked out his nose and plumped out his chin. And if you look closely, you can see they definitely added a scar running from his cheek to right below his nose. And Reeves confirmed to the panel that Oz, as we're calling him, isn't yet the Penguin boss yet. And in fact, he doesn't like being called the Penguin. And then we see this gang with white skull makeup, crosses, extended skeleton-like smiles. Kind of reminds me, weirdly, of that street gang for Batman Forever. Some are saying the white face makeup could be a connection to the Joker, but honestly, I hope not. We've seen plenty of the Joker. Can we please take a break from the Joker? I love the character. There's just so many other rogues gallery people we need to explore, like Quarterhouse. You get a quick shot of Bruce working with his suit and his cowl in this red lit space. Kind of like that initial screen test. I'm actually thinking since Reeves was only working with limited footage from the movie that he shot so far, they might have mixed in some of that early test footage, close-ups of the suit in this trailer. Then Batman scuffles with the GCPD. Gordon has to hold him back. Very interesting example of a hostile rivalry between these authorities. On to the next part.
What is the price for your blind eye?
Okay, during Batman's fight with Selena Kyle, she wears a ski mask with pointed corners for the cat ears. The mask does pretty little to cover her face. It's really just for her nose and cheeks. Why cover only those parts? Maybe because she has a distinguishing scar on the same place that Oswald Cobblepot does. And then we see the neck bomb victim actually detonates. Yikes! It blows Batman off his feet. You can see they tried to use a bomb-diffusing robot to take care of it, but Ashton probably would have demanded the Batman. The voice of Ashton.
That's a car, and this is Drive Time, where you have a 99% chance of getting approved. It's easy. So grab your phone, go to drivetime.com, apply in 2 minutes, and
I got approved.
see?
That was easy.
Go to drivetime.com, shop thousands of cars, and see your real down payment all on your phone. Easy.
Oh my God, I
If
thought I
you
messed up
manage
my
a team,
brow.
You have to try Monday.com. Monday.com is a platform to track everything your team is working on. We use it for all our projects: marketing, product development, HR, creative productions. I love Monday.com because it's totally customizable, and that's something I couldn't find in any other management tool. I can choose what information I want to track: project owners, statuses, deadlines, which means more time for actual work. I tried managing everything we were doing with spreadsheets. It was a nightmare. Now we have a tool that's easy to
Okay,
use.
don't
It's given us
worry
the confidence
guys,
to
we
take
are
on more
going
complex
to
projects.
reconcile
There's
and
so much you can do. Filter through data, get breakdowns of information, and
fix
see highlights from across the
this
departments.
situation
It gives a
because
sense
it's
of
looking
everything falling into place.
like a bit much.
You manage a
It
team.
is looking like a bit much right now.
And asks,
What is the price for your blind eye?
suggesting a kind of reckoning for Batman and the police for overlooking corruption in their own city. But the key word there is blind, as in blind as a bat. Maybe a reference to that final riddle in Batman Forever. You're as blind as a bat! Whew, when it comes to riddlers, we have come a long way, my friends. But yeah, here, blind is clearly a dig at Batman for being too focused on nighttime crime that in the broad daylight he is blind to the crimes committed by city leaders. The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
Yeah, you are. The combat here is brutal. Batman blocks the machete blow. You'll notice his gauntlets are lined with quills. Some are saying similar to the DC vigilante Talon, who works with the Court of Owls. But yeah, during the fight, you can definitely hear the guy's jaw break when Batman hits him in the face. And then even after the KO, he hits him twice more. There's so intense that I love this. The reaction by the other gang members, one of them clearly has tears in his eyes from the fear. And right when we assume Batman's gonna say,
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Good afternoon, Mr. Glee. I'm Batman.
instead get this great misdirect.
I'm vengeance.
But this isn't random. It actually echoes the classic three-line phrase from the Nothing to Fear episode of the animated series.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Almost like Matt Reeves knows that for many of us, the truest Batman is the voice of Kevin Conroy. And I do do hope that this Batman says all three parts of that phrase throughout this movie. Maybe I am vengeance against the street gang, then I am the knight against Riddler or Penguin, and then the final I am Batman against the true villains. But more on those in a bit. Let's move on.
Oh my goodness.
We get some sick shots of this movie's new Batmobile, which is a muscle car with an exposed engine that burns blue, so you know it's hot. It smashes through a pipeline in the pursuit of Oz, and then Batman takes a few gunshots.
I don't never do my nose contour. This is serious.
Behind him, and then the shot of Batman slinging up a stairwell past cops. Cops who fire at him. Yeah, the hostilities are going to get pretty intense. And then finally, the red title. Notice how it briefly gives the second A in the word Batman cowl as it forms together. And then inside the word is the bat chest emblem, where you can see the points where it latches onto the chest armor. Maybe those are hinge points where the blades could retract like pocket knives, which I have demonstrated the arts and crafts. I'm very proud of my work. And then the final bit.
You're part of this story. How am I part of it? You'll see.
So, in the Batcave, Bruce removes a cowl as he watches a video on this screen. It's hard to tell, but it looks like the figure talks, and then some text lays over them as it shifts to black and white. Now, I want to say this could be Villarreal, the mayor's rival, because this looks kind of like the editing of a political ad. Can you really trust this person? Paid for by the committee to re-elect Don Mitchell Jr. Now, it could also be a video riddle of the Riddler's next target, but I don't know. This Riddler seems more into duct tape flesh clues than, ones made in iMovie. But the exchange between Bruce and Nashman is the interesting part, implying that Bruce himself is part of this murder conspiracy. Matt Reeves said that this Batman will show a younger Dark Knight's failed criminological experiment in the city that results in a mystery that implicates his own family's role in the city's history of corruption. I have a feeling that we're going to learn a lot more about Thomas and Martha Wayne's possible involvement in the Court of Owls cabal of elites in the city of Gotham, a conspiracy that could connect the recently murdered mayor, criminal organization of the city,
That looks
and the
good.
source of the rot in Gotham that Nashville is trying to expose. That Batman will have to rip out the rocks, the Court of Owls, and then
This looks fantastic.
movie and doing deep dives into all the biggest news coming out of DC fandom. Our breakdown of that Snyder Cut trailer.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on to foundation.
When it comes out, be sure to subscribe to New Rockstar.
You stay naked.
For more personal takes on all this stuff, New Rockstar has an awesome Discord community for our patrons of all tiers, even $1 a month. Just go to patreon.com/newrockstars. You can follow me on Instagram at EABoss, follow New Rockstars, and be thankful this trailer actually edited down Batman's real beatdown.
What do I want to watch next? Trying to decide what wig do I want to put on. I'm thinking I want to put on my red wig because I haven't put on my red wig in a minute. Like my hair, I retwisted my hair today, so my hair is retwisted under here. But I don't know if I want to like do like a little pin back with my hair. I think I want to put a wig on. I think I want to throw a wig on, step out, do a little something, something. I literally watch these videos though all day. These superhero like
cool visual
videos.
Added to the vivid MCU catalog, Ant-Man and the Wasp had an undeniably important role in shaping up Marvel's cinematic timeline. Ant-Man and the Wasp
Ant-Man and the Wasp was a gem. It was a gem. They did so good in that movie. I'm going over my brows too because I actually cleaned up over top of them today, and I'm not trying to have no halo looking brow. I will go over top of it with a brow gel when we are finished, so nothing's looking crazy. But as of right now,
Oh, and since we can't discuss time travel in the MCU without looking at some key plot points, please note that there will be spoilers ahead. All the
we're looking
speculation
good.
and
We're looking good.
complex time travel
We're looking
theories
good.
surrounding
We're
Ant-Man's rescue
looking
from the quantum
shiny.
realm turned to dust
We
when
didn't set
Avengers
with no
Endgame
powder
zeroed in
yet.
on a rat to do their work. But fans had no time to marinate in that because we were immediately
I'm
treated
kinda
to a
getting
sweet reunion
foundation on
between
my
Scott and
hoodie.
his daughter Cassie. This is where the magic of the quantum realm and the time travel it facilitated in Endgame began to visually set in. Cassie, who was just about 9 or 10 years old when we last saw her on screen, looked like a teenager in Avengers Endgame after Lang sought her out. We know that Scott returned 5 years after the snap in Infinity War, which snuffed out half the world's population, including Scott's friends, Hank Pym,
How I'm
Janet
looking.
Van Dyne,
Who's
and
watching?
their daughter
Tell me
Hope.
how I'm
This
looking.
perfectly
Tell me how
lined
I'm
up with
looking.
Cassie's
Alright, I'm
grown-up
finna
years,
set
which
my
is
under
almost
eye. Do I
the
need
closest
a little bit more
indications of the
concealer?
amount of time
Nope,
that
I'm gonna leave it
gone by
alone.
since
I'm gonna set my
Infinity
under eye with my fancy powder. I'm gonna take my brush, dip in, tap off the excess.
Talking about the time he went to the quantum realm, Lang went on to explain that he only spent what felt like 5 hours there, even if 5 whole years had gone by on Earth. The revelation that the Avengers had been sitting on a time-traveling gold mine for 5 years almost threatened to break the gloomy post-apocalyptic mood of Endgame. Natasha cracked a well-deserved joke about emailing raccoons, and the rest, as you know, is cinematic history. Or history, if you get my drift. Right? It doesn't take a die-hard Marvel fan to know that the slightest whiff of time travel in any universe signals that there are complicated concepts at work at the very least. But the quantum realm in this case entails way more than some run-of-the-mill sci-fi time twisting.
Anything you do could have serious repercussions on future events. Do you understand?
I want to know if anybody remembers when I was like anti-set my makeup with a brush, because that was a real thing for me. That was really something I could not get with. I did not understand how people could do that. Like, I was not one of those people.
What the movie essentially did here,
I will always be
was that
like,
it established the quantum
that's
realm's
crooked.
significance,
I'm
not
looking
just
dead
for
in the mirror
itself,
and it's
but
still
for the
crooked.
foreseeable future of the entire MCU. And since I don't have to run off to save the
I
world
always be
just
like,
yet,
I
looked
don't
into some
understand
literature
people's really
that
out here
elaborates
just
the
saying
nature of the elusive
their
quantum
stuff
realm. According to
with
the essay that
freaking
physicist Spiridon Michalakis wrote for the Wrap, the
brushes.
quantum realm is an abstract space beyond
Not
the
me.
limited conceptual reach of classical physics, time, or even reality. It's a place where dimensions like space and time are just a part of what he calls a soup of pure possibilities. Any version of reality can be engineered like a piece of code in this microscopic dimension. There are only a few ways in which this mystical dimension can be entered, and Hank Pym knew that one of them involved the space-time altering dynamics of uncontrolled
Okay, I normally take my nutmeg powder around the rest of my face, but
using the revolutionary
oh wait,
Pym particles to go
I literally
subatomic.
have it right
The
here.
quantum realm is also accessible by Doctor Strange through
I don't
magic.
feel like getting
In
it, so I'm
Endgame,
just
the
gonna
function
take
of
this
the quantum
powder.
realm boils down to being a dimension
Just
which
not
can be
take too
entered at
much.
a particular point in time and exited at another.
Boop, boop,
Tony
boop, boop, boop.
remarkably figured out how to do this in one sitting, but if you're anybody else, you
I
might
have a
be
video
more likely to
coming
reach out for a comforting
that
sandwich and
is
take your time
just
with
my
it.
foundation
Time
routine.
travel.
So if
Scott
anybody
Lang's
is looking forward to a
size-altering
foundation
power
routine
is
video,
quantum realm
that's
seamlessly, and his first
coming.
brush with it came during his clash with Darren Cross in Ant-Man. Hank Pym had warned him
So
not to
bear
mess with
with
the
me.
regulator on the Ant-Man suit, which controlled its shrinking capacities. But he broke that rule when going subatomic seemed like the only way to destroy Yellow Jacket. Scott somehow avoided shrinking into
We're gonna
subatomic
use
obscurity
this
like Janet
orange
Van Dyne by
blush
swapping the
right
white disc on his
here.
regulator with the blue one. This set the ball rolling for Janet's successful rescue in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but that doesn't automatically make the quantum realm a conceptual cakewalk. Scott and Janet both survived the quantum realm, but their experiences with it were drastically different. Janet was stuck there for 30 years with no end in sight, versus Scott, whose 5-hour QR journey feels more like an interdimensional picnic. As Scott got ready to go back into the quantum realm in Ant-Man and the Wasp to retrieve quantum energy, Janet warned him not to get sucked into the realm's
Oh, I'm
vortex.
sure I didn't
While
put
this
on
may
any
have been a nod to the realm's
bronzer.
life-altering powers, it is certain that the realm does not have the same rules for all those who enter it. Scott Lang 5
contour,
hours in the realm
nothing.
cannot
I didn't feel
therefore be used as
nothing.
a standard of time conversion between the quantum realm and the
I dropped
matter
more.
verse.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this bronzer,
Captain Marvel has been known
and
to
I
be able to
already
cut through space
put,
without aging in the comics, and she's
what's
constantly
it
going on
called?
about helping other
Blush
vulnerable
on.
civilizations.
I'm gonna take this little
This
brush,
nicely
and I'm
fits
just
in
gonna
with
go
the idea
into
of her
this
perfecting quantum realm
side, the
navigation,
matte
but it
side.
doesn't make the dimension any more accessible to the superheroes who lack her distinct powers. It takes some diabolical mathematics, years of preparation, and a good grasp on philosophical thinking to be able to survive the quantum realm without going insane. This explains why the Avengers didn't try to endlessly milk it to fix their problems. But seeing the overall trajectory of expansion that the MCU has embarked upon, this could very likely change in the future.
Can man control his destiny? Can he change the shape of things to come?
Well, that's the end of my time travel with you today, so thank you for tuning into this discussion. Keep watching and subscribe to Screen Rant if you'd like to see our best videos curated in your feed.
Whether it's dried out, gone long, or gone wrong, keep it looking healthy with Tresemme Moisture Rich. Tresemme.
I'm very bronze right now. But oddly still very glowy, I feel like. I'm gonna use this to contour my nose too. Oh, another show that I like is Cinema Sins. It's so good. I'm at another channel. It's so good. It is so good. Like, y'all really need to watch it. If I don't watch it, I need to watch it. It is amazing. This is pretty dark though, so like, let me tread lightly. Is it like I tread lightly? I feel like it does not look like I tread lightly, but then, oh wow, oh, that happened. I feel like I'm really far away. Let me try to zhuzh up my eyebrows or something, because these things. They look pretty all right. Okay, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and just get into my eyes. I don't really think I'm gonna do nothing too serious. At all. Maybe I'll put a little bit more concealer on there. I don't think I need it really, but what could it hurt? What could it hurt? Mm-mm. Oh, I want to see this movie so bad. I want to see this movie Tenet so freaking bad. I'm gonna pull out this Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I haven't used Bay in so long.
What are these experiences like this?
I miss this palette. It's still a banger. Why have I not used her? We've been missing out, guys.
How about no?
Is this the only Urban Decay palette I have? I think so. And I'm not mad at that because I like the only other one I think I wanted was like,
Catching it.
I don't even know what it was called. I think it was like the cherry naked cherry palette or something like that. Because the last one they came out with, it was like purple or something. And I saw it and I was like, oh, this is a flop. Urban Decay, you can still call me, but like, it was not it for me. I was like, oh wow. The cherry one was looking fire. Cause I like the cherry one came out when I was working at Ulta. And yeah, that was short lived. Okay, I had to get out of Ulta. Okay, I had to get the up out of Ulta. I think I worked there for like, I shit you not, like 3 weeks. I liked working at Ulta, but like I had to go because this was when I was still in the Navy, and they was trying me, sweetie. They was trying me. I'm like, honey, this is my part. This is a part time. This is like this is a seasonal job, honey. This is not even a just regular part time. This is seasonal. Don't try me. Okay, and I already put down what hours I can work. Don't try to change them now. I already told y'all. Y'all know where I work. Don't be trying to have me in here till no 1 o'clock in the morning doing no damn truck, honey. I do trucks at work. This palette is a banger. Look at it. Y'all probably like, bitch, I don't even see nothing, but like,
The detritus of a coming world.
y'all see it. Don't blame me. Y'all see this high fire. Y'all see this transition color, honey. Y'all gonna see it once I deepen up this crease though. Once I deepen up this crease though, y'all gonna be like, oh, period, Stink, period. Y'all be like, period, Stink, I see it, I see you, Stink, I see you. And I'm be like, oh, don't you see me now? Don't trust you see me now. I'm like, don't see me, you see me now? What, you see me now? I thought you didn't see me. I thought you didn't see me. Yeah, don't pay me no mind, I'm just talking. But, let me, okay, bitch, I'm trying to find a brush. Where's my brush that I'm looking for? Nowhere to be found. Baby girl.
Meet Piper. Piper wants
Baby girl.
and a beautiful planet. She knows
Where are you?
planet Adam,
Where are you?
plastic, and
All of my eye brushes are right here.
so Piper
So
gets
where
pleasure to
are you?
and gives a little love
I guess I'll use this one. She's dirty, but this she has brown on her.
I'm Eric Voss,
And I'm literally just using another brown. So I'm just gonna use this brush anyway. It's not the same brown, but the brown that I'm using is darker. So whatever.
Indecipherable 4D puzzle. What the best? Based on some easy to overlook clues, I think I might have figured out what Tenet is all about. So let's break this down frame by frame.
Period.
Spoiler warning in case I reveal too much.
Honey.
Okay, we start with some footage of the previous trailer, a ship moving in reverse through these wind turbines. But notice that the
She
close
kinda looks.
Donovan's character
She's kinda
shows
chocolate. I haven't used this palette in so long.
It's hard to tell because all he says in the shot is the word tenet, which is a palindrome both textually and phonetically. For all we know, this trailer could have reversed the shot and kept the audio the same, making this whole trailer breakdown process real fun. As I explained in our breakdown of the first trailer, Tenet's palindrome aspect reflects how this whole movie uses localized time manipulation.
I'm shook at myself. Can I get into this chocolate brown? Period.
And dreams, times relationship with gravity.
Period. Do I even need to add a darker color? Like, I wanted to add a black, but like, do I even need to, honey? No.
Advantage in combat or espionage scenarios. John David Washington stares at this grunt
I
on the
do
left,
not.
who, out of nowhere, winces in pain and doubles over, as if he was attacked by Washington seconds in the future, striking him as he reversed to this pre-fight moment. So you beat up
I'm
one guy
watching,
in
well, I'm
overtime
listening
while
to
you're
this
beating up
trailer
his
breakdown
friend
of the movie
overtime.
Tenet,
More on this as we move on.
and
Outside, Elizabeth Debicki's
I
character
definitely took this
departs
color
in
in
the car.
way
The background
further
has a black London
on
taxi,
this
placing us
side,
in
so I'm gonna
London.
fix it on the other
bodyguard who
side.
escorts her out of the kitchen to the car was also the grunt on the right in the kitchen who fought Washington. And outside, beside Washington, there's a guy on the ground as he watches the
Oh,
car leave.
baby
So
girl.
what's really going on here? Well, I think Washington is trying to intercept Becky's character, trying to catch her at her departure point from the restaurant. And he fights the guards around her, the guy from outside back to inside the kitchen. And before I move on, yes, the music throughout this is incredible. It's composed by Ludwig Göransson, who won an Oscar for Black Panther and composed the amazing Mandalorian
This
score.
looks
This guy is
good.
fire. Let's
Who
move
is
on.
watching?
This
Hey,
influenced
hello.
these
How
technician
you
characters. This drawer
doing?
containing odds and ends,
How you doing? I'm not
pieces, rings,
crazy.
hardware.
I'm just
They're all
shook
small,
city
like
because I haven't used this
like
palette in so
Inception. Now, both of
long.
them are wearing these green gloves, and one of these pieces floats up to his gloved hand, which is interesting because this isn't reverse time. If you play it reverse, the object doesn't drop from gravity and like wobble when it lands. It just kind of back in place. So it seems like gravity itself is being inverted. And right before he summons it up, Washington seems to be pumping something in his hand. Maybe this is something that primes his hand to invert the physics like this, and he needs to wear gloves because if it touches his skin, it can be dangerous. Let's move on.
Oh, this
Michael
looks
Caine
good.
comes back as he does in all Nolan
So I need
films.
another brush just like this. I need another one of these brushes. I know I have another one, but I don't know.
A close-up in the last
I'll
trailer showed
look at
him
it.
Debicki's hand. So I'm guessing she could be his wife or his lover, maybe his ex. One of those things. Washington's voiceover says he can communicate with the future, and assuming we're still
Thank
talking about
you.
Branagh here, it seems as if this guy is a rogue figure exploiting
I'm being
this
a failure
technology
today, and I'm using a lot of dirty brushes. I don't know what's going on with me today, but we gonna pray about it, honey.
This mysterious concrete chamber shows up again and again. Aaron Taylor Johnson's going to be
We gonna pray about it, honey.
The soldier in the beret faces some threat coming out of this circular door. This room is bathed in red light, though notice on the reflection on the floor coming from the other side of the glass suggests that that side is lit in blue. Keep this.
Oh, honey, this
color
brush
coded
is
in
just
mind
stained.
as we look at a clue that shows up in the next section that explains what all this is. Robert
That's just
Pattinson seems to be
terrible.
playing the
This
new
brush
Hummer
is
partner
just
to
stained.
and they clarify that this is not
Ain't
a
even
trophy
really blue.
time travel movie,
It's
rather
just
one about what they
frickin'
call
stained.
immersion. And again, there seems to be some tricky editing here. Washington is leaning forward when Pattinson asks about time travel, but when we cut to Washington's angle, he's sitting back in his chair when he starts to lean forward to correct him. So again, we just can't really trust any of the sequencing here. Technician and Washington, they're both still wearing the gloves as they demo reverse firing a bullet, catching a bullet. They open the chamber to catch the casing. He re-aims the gun. He catches the bullet from the target. The bullet goes back in the shell, which is now back in the magazine. But the most important detail of the trailer is this dry erase board. Its equations aren't just random set decoration. That equation is actually part
Okay,
one of
let's-
the Maxwell equation.
let's
that
pray
describes
about it.
what's called
Trying to get it
Maxwell's
together.
demon. What? Okay, these relate to the second law of thermodynamics and a physics concept that's called entropy. Entropy is, well, in the loosest sense, the measure of general disorder in the universe, the infinity for particles to chaotically drift apart from each other. But in physics, more specifically, it's the amount of unavailable thermal energy in a closed system that can be converted to mechanical work. So
Let's
remember
pray
from
about
physics,
it.
the second
I'm
law of
feeling like
thermodynamics
this
states
might
that
not
a
work
total
out in my
entropy
favor.
can
That
never
brush did.
decrease.
That brush was
Entropy is
definitely
a
dirty.
constant in our universe.
It was
Always
definitely dirty.
increases toward a thermodynamic equilibrium.
Okay.
So is E Maxwell's
Gotta
equation
figure this shit
that kinda
out.
sums this all up. Du equals TdS
Okay.
minus PdV.
Switch
Means
brushes
that
on that
internal
ass.
energy, U, changes based on entropy, S, and volume, V. But beneath this gives us a visual depiction. Shows Maxwell's thought experiment.
This
of
brush
two
normally
systems,
saves my
with red
ass.
particles and with blue
It better
particles,
save me
and a little
today.
demon underneath who can magically violate the second law of thermodynamics and entropy to open a door between these systems, which allows the red and the blue particles to mix. If this were possible, theoretically, natural constants like the natural disorder of the universe or time would no longer be fixed on perpetually increasing axes, but reversible.
Okay.
This whole chamber in the movie is Maxwell's demon thought experiment. One side red, the other side blue. They're a bridge between parallel
Shit is
realities
stressful.
in which time is moving in opposite directions. The circular portal in the middle is the demon door that allows travelers from one side to interfere
I
with the
need
other system. Reverse the motion of the
smaller
bodies,
brushes,
weapons
and I'm trying to figure out why do I feel like all the brushes that I would like to use are
someone knows what they're doing, like Branag's character, they could break through and wreak havoc on the causality
nowhere
of
to
the
be
other side's
found.
history. Maybe this is why they have to wear oxygen masks when they cross over. They need the air they breathe to be from their home system, since the particles behave differently on the other side. They need to be able to regulate the air intake so that it doesn't screw up the flow of oxygen into their own bloodstream. Look, I know this is confusing, but I'm sure Nolan's script will explain it all more clearly than I am currently doing. But in shouted exposition over and over again throughout all the action. And you know, some of these details are tough to spot, blend in seamlessly with the background, kind of like a, what the heck is this? A sleek front pocket wallet like the Ridge. Thanks to the Ridge for sponsoring this video. The Ridge wallet is light and sleek and industrial. It's designed to fit in your front pocket, unlike those bulky 90s style back pocket wallets that give you a big ass. This one is their titanium black design. It's smooth, it's minimalist, blends in seamlessly, and that titanium. And hey, folks, when you go out for essentials these days, just take the minimal essentials with you to make for quick, hassle-free transactions, right? The Ridge wallet comes in over 30 styles and colors, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. It holds up to 12 cards and still has room for cash, assuming you still use those dusty old greenbacks. Every Ridge wallet comes with a lifetime guarantee, and they'll let you test drive it for 45 days and send it back for a full refund if you don't love it. It's got 30,000 5-star reviews, so they're doing something right. They also have great backpacks and travel bags with RFID blocking pockets and optional device charging batteries. Father's Day's coming up in June, and the Ridge wallet will make a great gift for pops. Ridge wallets are chainsaw proof, so when Dad trips in the garage, he doesn't have to worry about a touch-up on that vasectomy. Oh boy! Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to
I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I got it.
Use the code NEWROCKSTARS. Find the link.
What color do I want to use? What color do I want to use? I got orange blush on.
That Christopher Nolan is obsessed with. He actually pulled out a big book of Bacon when talking about Heath Ledger's face paint design in The Dark Knight. Bacon's work expresses an existentialist, bleak outlook of figures destabilizing into their raw components, a very entropy-influenced idea, or, you know, maybe it's just hotel wall art. Washington drives a boat out to this big yacht. Earlier, we saw him in a different vessel with no overhang. There's just a lot of different boats in this movie. Makes me wonder if maybe that could be part of the time resetting structure and theme, like going from being adrift in the chaotic sea back to the order of land on a mission. One theory that I saw is that maybe Vicky's
I
character
don't know
might
what
have
color I want to
drowned during the
use,
voyage.
but
Her husband
I
was
think
obsessed with trying to reverse entropy and time to get her back and save his family.
I'm making shit up because I don't know.
Washington and Pattinson and Himesh Patel. Nolan actually used similar camera work on the three heads of Gotham in The Dark Knight to
Ooh,
support Batman
this
as
is
they
pretty.
plotted to save the city. There's more footage of this crazy Estonian car chase sequence. Washington is flipped over in a wrecked car. Branagh creeps up with a gun behind him. Crossfire shatters the
This
car
isn't
window,
like,
but it's in reverse, suggesting that Pattinson could be
I don't know why I
catching
thought this was
bullets
going to
faster as
have
he's
more glitter in it. Have I
reverse
never used this
motion.
color? I
Branagh
feel like I
voiceover
have.
This
says,
is where our worlds collide.
suggesting he is from a different world, a different system, where things are moving in reverse, in his view, allowing him to meddle here. Washington is in a train yard where one train moves forward, the other in reverse, again expressing this idea of parallel things moving in opposite directions. Moving on. Okay, back to the crazy chase footage. The silver car between the Audi SUV and the BMW flips.
This is
Now, the
pretty
BMW
cute.
is
Pretty
speeding
cute,
in
pretty
reverse,
cute, pretty
and
cute.
watching Pattinson react, Pattinson turns around, suggesting they are the ones in the Beamer, reversing. Then the silver car flips back, and the normal
Let me spray
drive
this.
swerving back
Maybe I'll do a
around
little
that Audi
something.
SUV, which has a dent on its side, suggesting that moments earlier it deliberately bumped into that silver car, tried to slam it into Washington and Pattinson. From their point of view, the car flips in the opposite flow of time than from the Audi's point of view. And they look over to see a Mercedes to their right, reversing just as they are, with its back door opening up to try to intercept the Audi. I think they're on the same side. On to the next part. So now, a version of Pattinson and a version of Washington are on different sides of this Maxwell system chamber. On Pattinson's side, you can see a red marker on the floor. On Washington's, a blue reflection. So clearly, these are the red and blue chambers.
This is
that
pretty
thought experiment.
cute.
I also pointed out in the last trailer, fun detail here,
Pretty
in one angle,
and
Pattinson's hair
cute.
is messy, but Immediately after, on the other side, it is neatly combed. So we may be looking at the midpoint of the movie's palindrome here. On Pattinson's side, he's on the other side of the fight, hair messed up, about to reverse to its comb state. Those bullet holes were caused by Washington's struggle with the soldier, which he's about to go through after that soldier comes through the demon door on the other side. And these bullet holes were the focus of the very first teaser that Nolan released in theaters, and they were surrounded by wisps of smoke and vapor that appeared to be moving in reverse. Perhaps these holes are a key to the plot. The holes would allow air particles from one side to interfere with the entropy of the other side. Washington and Pattinson's mission could be to patch those holes, both these here and other bigger, scary Branagh-sized holes. And I love how, as the bullet holes reverse back into the gun here, Bjornsson's score includes a reverse sound effect. As Nolan did with the Edith Piaf song in Inception, it looks like he will once again rely on music and sound effects to convey the passage of time, setting a big sequence in this symphony hall. I'm assuming we will be toggling between forward music and reverse music to know which side of it we're on. The whole symphonic element is just very interesting to me, by the way. Nolan is shooting these sequences at European opera
This is
houses,
cute.
and
This
the
is
word
pretty
opera
cute.
appears with tenets in the famous Latin theater square, which is a two-dimensional palindrome matrix that I think a lot of this could be based on. Check out my first breakdown for more on that. These masked gunmen are holding these hostages at the symphony in Ukraine. This sequence was actually for the movie's prologue shown at IMAX screenings in December. Washington and his team of extractors pose as real cops to extract an American who they say has been made against the Ukrainians set up this whole terrorist attack as a blind to cover up this American's death. So Washington and the American exchange this cryptic code phrase: "We live in a twilight world and there are no friends at dusk." They end up swapping clothes between this guy and one of their agents. The guy they're trying to extract can just escape on his own. And all the chaos, Washington gets saved by a mystery man who reverses the bullets back through a real cop. And even though the terrorist event isn't really their mission, Washington saves the cat by throwing all the bombs in the opera box. And during this, all the hostages are passed out because the cops were pumping knockout gas through the vents, which is making some believe this could be based on the 2002 Moscow Dubrovka theater attack by armed Chechens. Very tragic.
Do I want a wing?
But this prologue
Or
ends
is this
with
cute by
Washington's driver
itself?
saying that
Do
they
I want
attracted the
a
wrong
wing?
guy.
Do I
And
want
I'm thinking this leads
a
to the
freaking
train yard sequence.
wing?
I know we've seen other footage. That could be what leads to the tenant organization coming in, reversing Washington's killing and recruiting him to their forces. And before we move on, we see it's the Audi SUV that's reversing, with Washington trying to get DeBecky out of it before it crashes into the traffic ahead. Branagh counts down as he points a gun at her, so maybe opposed to trying to save his wife, it's also possible that she defected from him, told other authorities about his evil inversion plans, and now he's reversing back to try to kill her before she can tell others what he's up to. I had her. Washington asks the key question of this premise, that if we can reverse the flow of time, if we're here right now, doesn't it mean that what we're worried about never happened? Well, I think the implication is that our very existence means that entropy agents are constantly scrambling behind the scenes to evade all kinds of temporal disasters that we're lucky to sidestep. But now Washington has to join these meticulous resetters to keep the universe from collapsing into chaos. He has to bear the burden of all that stress.
That's pretty
Yeah, it's
freaking
gonna pause here too, but we're
cute.
obsessed about this tenant title.
That's pretty
Palindrome, but the letters
freaking
disappear
cute.
in
Watch
each
now.
sequence.
As soon as I try to do this on the other
And
side,
popping out of existence. But the
shit not gonna work out.
slide
That always
back together,
freaking
the
happens
keys
to
disappear a
me.
different way. Each of them themselves is symmetric.
That always freaking happens
This
to
might
me.
reflect the movie's structure.
That always
Maybe the movie starts in the middle, but with dual timelines. One in which Washington is the more experienced, explaining the Pattinson how it works, but he recruits him because he knows he's his partner in the other timeline
Yeah,
in the
no,
future.
I don't
And then another
agree.
timeline progresses backwards to his earlier time when he was less experienced. On to the last bit. Okay, Nolan appears to be topping his plane crash sequence from The Dark Knight Rises, but with a ground-paced plane crash somehow. So what is the real mission here? Well, there was a separate TV spot that came out that went a bit further into this, so I think the mission is to either break into this plane or the building it's crashing into. Washington and Pattinson are disguising as SWAT with a body in a body bag that might be Patel, sneaking inverted in time past firefighters onto that plane before it crashes into the building, maybe so that all three of them could get onto that plane and hijack it and fly it somewhere else. And finally, these end titles could not be clearer about this movie opening in theaters. Oh, theatrical cinematic experience is very, very important to directors like Christopher Nolan. They're not into streaming. And while it's still a bit unclear about the exact release date, it looks like the studio is still hoping for a July release as planned. We will see. But comment down below with your theories.
dead.
Also, spend the shutdown period
It's
by
about to be
watching
September.
along the classic films.
When the hell
And
is
break
that
them
movie
down with
supposed to
us
be
on our
coming out?
official Discord server by becoming a patron at patreon.com/newrockstars. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EABoss. Follow New Rockstars and subscribe for breakdowns of everything you love. Thanks for watching. Bye.
The story doesn't look the same. Let's see what it says. Top 20 Netflix original movies.
We hear a lot about cursed films around horror productions. Crazy things that happen on set of The Exorcist and The Omen or Poltergeist.
When you're working intensively on a project and something really anomalous occurs, it's tempting to say this project feels cursed.
There was all of this information about the movie being cursed.
And then you enter the internet into that and forget about it. There are rumors that they used real skeletons from India and it led to a curse.
If you need skeletons to come out of a muddy pool, what do? Well, get some real ones, I guess.
Our brains are designed to believe all sorts of things.
Oh, I could have skipped this. Oh, wow. I don't like scary movies.
Netflix has a shelf at home that it's looking to fill with Oscars. Welcome to
My
Watch
window is
Window.
open,
And today we're
so I
counting
feel
down
like
our
people
picks for the
outside
top 20
are
Netflix
probably
original
like when they get home, because we're in an apartment building. I feel like y'all know that. We're not in the house anymore, and obviously we're not even in the same state anymore. And people are probably like, what the
For this
is
list,
this bitch
we're
doing up
looking at the
here?
most critically acclaimed
What is
Netflix
she doing,
original
and who
films
the
released
hell is
to
she
date.
talking to?
We're trying to cover a wide
feel like that's what
variety
they be
of films
saying.
from across different genres,
Like, I
not just
quite
the films
frankly
that got the
really
highest
don't give a
Rotten
damn.
Tomatoes scores. Films need not have been released exclusively on
Oh,
Netflix.
like
to be
I
eligible.
feel like that's what they
As long
be
as they were
saying.
distributed by Netflix rather than being given a wide release either in the United States or internationally, they will be considered.
Never been in battle. Do you have a plan? Just to prove there's no need for us.
Number 20, The Fundamentals of Caring.
You must be Mr. Benjamin.
I'm not even freaking heard this.
Hi.
What?
Break out the tissues, folks. Paul Rudd
I've never
stars
heard
as
this
Ben, a newly
freaking
certified
movie.
caregiver, and his first client, Trevor, is a handful, to say the least. You see, Trevor has Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
The Fundamentals
which
of
inclines
Caring.
him
Has
to a
anybody heard of that movie?
But while that situation may seem kind of grim, the banter between him and Ben is hilarious.
Did you arrange these to look like large testicles and a small penis?
Yep.
The pair goes on a road trip, picking up hitchhikers along the way, and checking things off Trevor's to-do list. Brought to you by Rob Burnett, executive producer of Late Show with David Letterman. The Fundamentals of Caring has the perfect blend of drama, comedy, and tragedy, with a dash of hope at the
This
end.
shit is not about to look the same as the other side. I can never get my wings to look the same, which is why I don't normally do wings
Number 19,
after I've done my makeup
Always Be
already.
My Maybe. If you're looking to laugh and don't mind comedy that veers into raunchy territory, Ali Wong has got you covered.
Guys, these are supposed to be vegetable dumplings, okay? Not lemongrass testicles. Let's smooth the wrinkles out.
San Francisco, you're opening a new restaurant in 2 months, and I need you there by the end of this week.
After 2 comedy specials for Netflix, Wong teamed up with Randall Park to co-write, co-produce, and co-star in this hilarious rom-com.
Do you have any dishes that play with...
Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look good.
Yes, we have a meat course of venison sous vide. Comes with headphones so you can hear the sound of the exact animal you are about to consume.
The film follows Sasha and Marcus, childhood best friends who, after years of estrangement, are reunited when Sasha returns to San Francisco.
Those women are still so rude and disappointed that neither of us speak Cantonese.
Hello, Lei Hao Ma, Xiu Jie.
Do these look the same?
I learned better service.
The
I'm
film
a joke.
doesn't throw out the rom-com
I am a
playbook, but
joke.
it definitely feels like a fresh spin on the formula. And the chemistry between Wong and
I'm
Park
over
is
it.
fantastic.
I'm over it, and I'm not touching them no more.
Can I hold your purse for you?
Hold on, let me see.
That was the bad version?
Even if you're not a fan of rom-coms, this one should still be considered
Okay,
a must-watch for
whatever.
Keanu
I gotta
Reeves'
leave this shit
performance
alone
alone.
because
Number 18,
that just...
Fairy. Regardless of your political leanings, you'd have trouble denying that President Barack Obama led an interesting life
Okay.
leading up to his presidency.
That-
Biopic Barry
okay.
only shows us a snippet of that by giving us a glimpse of his college years,
before he became the self-assured man who would.
This is not.
Every time I open a map in class.
This is not perfect. Okay, should I use this jumbo eye pencil? I don't have like an eyeliner that will like work. Like I have a brown. I'll do a brown.
Struggles people endure. While it does not touch on his future presidency, Barry still offers a compelling look into the complex mind of Barack Obama.
Well, I don't see you being them. So what's so special about me?
Number 17. I don't feel at home in this world anymore.
Why are you here?
My house got robbed.
Don't let its long title deter you. This comedy crime thriller is dark.
I gotta put some lashes on because I look like
The premise is
this
straightforward
eyeliner is
enough.
not
A
it. I
woman
don't
finds her
know.
home burglarized, and
Why
since
would
the
y'all let me
police
put this
have no help,
eyeliner
she
on like
decides
this?
to find the thieves herself. But where it goes from there is
I don't
unexpected,
know.
to say the least. With realistic, albeit oddball characters at its core, its absurd chain of events keeps you shaking your head. And we mean that in a good way. With tons of thrills to be had and captivating chemistry between leads Melanie Linsky and Elijah Wood, this Netflix release can accurately be described as eccentric.
Sometimes I feel like I'm like underneath the whirlpool and like I can't even breathe.
You had nothing, then you had something, now you got nothing again. So stands to right you'll have something again.
David Copperfield is a delightfully modern update of the Dickens classic.
Is it too early to say?
A little early.
Thank you, Paige, because my eyeliner is not flawless, so I need something to look like something.
Dev Patel delivers a tour de force
I really played myself today.
Hero of my own story. These moments must show.
The personal history of David Copperfield, PGA.
Ew, I just stabbed myself. I know I said I gotta leave it alone, but I can't.
Introducing Always Pan. I created the Always Pan because I was sick of the clutter in my kitchen. I realized if it were created just right, you really only needed one perfect pan. So I made it. The Always Pan.
Oh, you know what?
Beautiful cookware system.
That little thing I just did, that helped a little bit. It didn't help a lot, but that helped a little bit. I feel a little bit better about myself right now. Just a tap, like not a lot, not at all. But I feel a tiny bit better. My eyeliner still looks horrible, but it's not the worst eyeliner I've ever done. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna add some more, a different like color on top because I don't know. The shimmer is not doing it for me. Yeah. It's not it. It's not doing it for me.
Number 16, High Flying Bird. Not to be confused with Birdman, another great film, though not a Netflix original. High Flying Bird is a 2019 sports drama.
The card's denied. We tried it a few times and called. They said to cut it.
I have cash.
Directed by Steven Soderbergh and written by Moonlight screenwriter Terrell Alvin McCraney, the film follows sports agent Ray Burke, who executes a daring and time-sensitive plan to save his job and company during a lockout.
We have not heard from them. They haven't hit us up. They haven't said anything about the deal. It's good because it gives us a...
I feel a little bit.
Compelling film that approaches the world and
I want to add more blush because I'm insane and blush makes me feel better.
Are all to be commended.
But, what about you?
What about me?
Fired.
I don't work for you anymore.
But what makes this film so remarkable is that Soderbergh managed to capture all of the above while shooting on an iPhone.
I think when you lose fun for
I love blush. I probably always look like a clown, but like it's
Number
so worth
15,
it.
Private Life. This isn't just one of Netflix's best films. It's arguably among the best
Worth
films
it
of
all the
2018.
time.
It
Do I
gives
need to
us
put
an
highlighter
up-close and
on?
personal look at one of the most private and difficult experiences a couple can go through, conceiving a child.
picture is probably blocked.
Like mentally, like psychosomatic.
No, not mentally, physically. Like he's just been talking about with the sub.
Right, sorry.
Yeah.
Getting pregnant is easy for some, but middle-aged Richard and Rachel are struggling, with no amount of medical assistance seeming to be doing the trick. It puts them in debt and places understandable stress on their marriage.
Okay, well there goes the big baby.
As a couple, that we would definitely draw the line at science fiction.
It's not science fiction, Rach. It's pretty primitive, actually. They do it with farm animals all the time.
When their niece Sadie moves in and offers to be an egg donor, the situation only gets more complicated.
You don't have to give us an answer right now. Seriously.
It's not like I'm doing anything else with my life. I don't need a job right now. I mean, what could be more rewarding than helping two people I love start a family?
Paul Giamatti and Kathryn Hahn are both in top form, delivering extremely nuanced performances as the would-be parents. The film was released to near universal acclaim and boasts 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 14, The Half of It. The tagline for this coming-of-age dramedy is a different kind of love story. Many films have made the claim, but few have lived up to it quite as well as filmmaker Alice Wu's sophomore effort.
I see few words, good ones.
I'm not writing to ask her to some girl. It'd be wrong. A letter is personal. It's supposed to be authentic.
That'd be awesome.
The movie centers on Ellie Chu, a Chinese-American high school student living in the small fictional town of Squamish in the Pacific Northwest. Ellie is a
Okay, so I need a lip. I need a lip.
That's what you say. That's what you say when you love someone.
No, I was just talking. I would never, ever.
So we're gonna do a nude because it's a nude type of day. It's always a nude type of day. This is my NYX lip pencil in espresso, one of my favorites.
Into a complicated love triangle, as they both like the same girl.
And your laughter, it's like an ocean of thoughts, like 5 oceans of thoughts, like 5 voice. Nah, I like you.
The film displays intelligence rarely seen in teen dramas and takes the audience on an incredibly sweet, if at times heartbreaking journey of self-discovery.
How does that happen?
What?
The kiss.
I kissed her.
How do you know she wants to be kissed?
Number 13, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. When did Netflix become a serious threat to the theater distribution model?
Maybe some of y'all have heard of him. Buster Scruggs, known to some as the San Saba Songbird.
We can't specify an exact point in time, but landing themselves a Coen Brothers film certainly feels indicative of Netflix breaking through.
I'd appreciate it if you hobbies a weapon in the receptacle of swinging doors, which conceal
Want to do this lip gloss. This is my NARS lip gloss
This
and
2018
striptease.
Western anthology brings together an ensemble cast including Tim Blake Nelson, Liam Neeson, James Franco, and Zoe Kazan.
I just thought about it. I wonder if Brian took the chicken off the oven. I hope so.
The more stories you tell, the higher the risk of one of them feeling subpar.
got 2 bullets.
I really hope so.
For shooting Indians. If I shoot with Nick, I'm gonna shoot you, and then I'm gonna shoot myself, so that's okay. But if you see that I'm done for, well, you
Alright,
have to do
it's
yourself.
on
But all 6 of these
and
narratives feel
popping. Like I said, I retwisted my hair, so my hair is
distinctive style of filmmaking and trademark
retwisted.
gallows humor. They all come together as a thematically cohesive film. Number 12, Tallulah.
She's blonde.
With a spectacular Ellen Page performance as the titular Tallulah.
She is blonde. Oh, I didn't spray my face.
Seeing how neglectful its
Spray my
mother is.
face.
What comes next is a roller coaster of emotions. Tallulah begins to care for someone other than herself. And although the hole she digs for herself gets deeper and deeper, she never loses sight of the fact that she thinks she did the right thing.
I think it's better to not be needed.
She needs you.
Even though it's a relatively serious situation, and the film has a way of making us question some of our own life choices, Tallulah still features plenty of lighthearted moments that make this Netflix release a worthwhile watch.
You, sir, you want some. You need it. Hydration is important. Looking at your skin, you need it.
Number 11, Hush. It's hard to come up with something original these days, especially when it comes to the horror thriller genre. But Hush did it. How? By featuring a protagonist who's completely deaf and mute. That protagonist is Maddie, and she's being hunted at her remote home by a psycho killer. Doesn't sound like it should last more than a few minutes, especially since it's mostly silent. But Hush is engaging and grittily realistic. Thankfully, avoiding the horror tropes we're all so sick of by now, but throwing in enough blood and guts to keep fans satisfied. Maddie uses her creativity as a writer to try and survive this cat and mouse fight, and it makes for one tense viewing experience.
I can't run. I can't hide.
Oh no, I love my hair this
Go
color.
outside.
All right.
Number 10, Annihilation. Following the success of screenwriter Alex Garland's directorial debut Ex Machina, fans
Annihilation is
anxiously awaited
weird.
the sophomore effort. Thankfully, Annihilation
Disregard
did
what I
not
have.
disappoint. An adaptation of Jeff Vandermeer's novel by the same name, Annihilation is a surreal and downright stunning sci-fi film with horror elements.
There was something on my side of me.
No, that's interesting. It centers on a team of scientists who are tasked with
Pull it
venturing
out.
into a quarantined
Lost
area of
synthetic.
land dubbed the Shimmer.
Shimmer is a prison, but it reflects everything.
Once inside, they quickly lose track of time as the anomalies begin to affect them both psychologically and physically. Released theatrically in
I don't have
Canada
a
and the
wig cap
United
on,
States,
so my hair is kind of
Annihilation was
like doing
distributed
its
by
own
Netflix
thing under here, but
internationally
like
and was met with
I don't have any
widespread
eyelashes
critical
on.
acclaim.
Wow. This is the finished look besides the eyelashes, but I'm about to go take some
Visually striking,
pictures.
thematically bold, deeply odd, and reluctant to offer up clear answers.